What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissists Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, better known as Mental Healness across all social media platforms. This is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice. I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and also validate the victims, survivors, and thrivers of said disorder, said toxic traits, said toxic people. Y'all, Sydney, Australia coming up in a couple of days. I'll be in Sydney, Australia. 14-3 through 14-17 through 17-3. Got it mixed up. Today's episode is going to be about why do narcissists act like kids? Why do they act like big kids? Why does it seem like my husband or my wife or my mom or my dad or my coworker, whoever to relate with, my best friend, why do they act like big kids in human bodies? 2 words: arrested development. 2 words. And my teacher, I'm about to say my therapist, but my therapist is kind of my teacher. She's my life teacher. So yeah, my therapist told me, she explains it like, when you seem like you're talking to a narcissistic person and they argue with you like they're a kid, they pretty much like when you're arguing with them or you're trying to hold them accountable, it's like they put their hands in their ears and like, I don't want to hear it, that type of reaction right there. They rage at you, they scream at you, they give you silent treatment. Those are childish responses because narcissistic people are emotionally childish because of arrested development. Because if you don't know what arrested development is, I'm not talking about the TV show. I have no idea if the TV show Arrested Development has anything to do with this. But arrested development, according to my therapist, happens when you skip stages of emotional growth and development in your in your youth. Like you go through some type of trauma, or you have to grow up too fast, or you get neglected and things like that. Like you experience you have a stoppage in emotional growth, emotional maturity, emotional intelligence. You stop learning emotionally, so to speak. So you can have a 37-year-old grown man that behaves like a 12-year-old or an 8-year-old emotionally. They give you 8-year-old emotional responses and things of that nature because arrested development is 100% real. You skip stages of emotional growth. You act childish. So people are just like, what do we do, Lee? How can we help them grow up? One of the main things that I see in my comment section consistently is people trying to figure out how to help the narcissistic person in their life. People trying to figure out how to make them grow up, how to do better for them, how to do something like that for them. You know what I mean? How to keep doing this type of stuff right here. Like you want to try to change them. You want to try to fix them because you're a helper. You're a fixer. I get that. But you're going to try to help and fix yourself to death. You're going to lose yourself trying to assist this person. You're going to lose yourself trying to help this person. You're going to lose yourself trying to be there for this person who's not even trying to be there for themselves. You see what I'm saying? You have to be at this point right here. Sometimes you're like, you can't save everybody. Now I know that sucks to say and it sucks to hear for a lot of people, but you can't. And this is not me trying to be mean. This is me being realistic. You cannot save everybody. You can't. It is not your responsibility. You don't have the power to do that. And it's not me trying to chastise you or hurt your feelings. This is me being real with you right now. You cannot save everybody. They don't want to be saved. But narcissistic people, like, Lee, how can we help them grow up emotionally? Like, they have to go to therapy. Like this, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Therapy, to me, is the only way that somebody can possibly have the chance to grow up emotionally. Otherwise, they're trying to do it on their own. You can't grow up emotionally until you heal or take care of or acknowledge the trauma that you have experienced in your youth that made you who you are right now in your adulthood. You see what I'm saying? So many people get caught up and get stuck at typically what my therapist said, the ages, and I've seen a few other therapists say the same thing. It's typically between the ages of 8 to 12 years old that you get stuck at emotionally. So you don't grow up. So like myself, and this is not me trying to, I'm not chastising myself. I probably had the emotional intelligence of a young teenager or an adolescent for a very, very long time until I got into therapy and started understanding how my actions affected people more. So I started developing more cognitive empathy. You know what I mean? Until I started working on understanding why people felt the way that they felt due to what I might have said or due to what I might have done. You know what I mean? That's the dynamic that a lot of people face, and I don't think a lot of people understand. So this is me telling you right now that if you're dealing with a narcissistic person or a toxic person or whoever, wherever, whyever, this is them. This is them. This is who you're going to be dealing with. And unless they get into therapy and they be serious about it and they want to work through their trauma. They have to want to work through, acknowledge, and deal with their trauma. Because if they don't, this is who you're going to be dealing with. And this is not me just trying to say, oh, this is what you get. No, this is me telling you, this is who you're going to be dealing with, because this is them. At the end of it all, this is them right there. You know what I mean? They have to want to grow up. Like, they get stuck, like say an 8-year-old experiences some type of emotional abuse when they're younger. They get stuck at that emotional age because they skip the stages of emotional growth because they're neglected, or they don't have anybody in the house teaching them empathy, or helping them, like teaching them how to be a person, teaching them how to be an adult. You have to grow up on your own. Like me, for instance, my mom worked second shift. You know what I mean? My dad was, he works, I don't know where he worked. He worked second. He was around, but he wasn't a father. You know what I mean? So we had to kind of raise ourselves. And in raising ourselves, like, this is how when raising ourselves, like, I had to take on like the big brother and also like the father role. You know what I mean? I have 3 little brothers in the same house as me, including my twin. You know, so I had to be I had to be the adult sometimes in the household at 10, 11, 12 years old. You know what I mean? So we grow up not knowing how to do anything else but be a parent. Like, I've been a parent, like, I feel like I've been parenting since I was 11, 12 years old. You know what I mean? So I didn't have time you didn't get time to be a kid and experience kid emotions because you had to grow up too fast. You know what I mean? You just like say, and I used to be like, when I found it out, the first thing you do when you find that type of stuff out is you get angry at your parents. You're like, damn, mama, why weren't you there for us? You know what I mean? But she had to work. She had to. I mean, times were different. You know what I mean? But like I said, I can't control what happened in my youth, but I'm responsible for what happens in my adulthood. You know, I just tell this people all the time, you cannot control who raised you or your youth or how you were raised or brought up, but you can control, only thing you can control now is your adulthood and how you react in adulthood, how you handle situations in your adulthood. You can't go back to nurse little you. You know what I mean? I've had to do some childhood trauma work, and that's what we're going to be doing my next therapy session. I think my next therapy session is this month sometime. I don't remember exactly when it is. But we're going to be doing childhood trauma work. My therapist is like, when we come back next session, we're going to be working on, we'll talk to, my first name is Damon, y'all. If y'all don't know, my middle name is Lee. I go by Lee. It's simpler online. It's simpler for people to say other than Damon because they butcher my name. She said we're gonna work on little Damon, little Lee or whatever, you know what I mean, to see what's going on in his mind, to see what happened to him to make him who he is. She's like, it's gonna be tough to deal with because there's probably a lot of trauma and stuff like that you repressed in your childhood that you don't remember. Whatever happened to you or made you who you are, your mind has probably blocked it out and repressed it, so you don't remember what happened. You know what I mean? So you don't understand what has happened in your mind. My next therapy session is March 23rd at 11 a.m. So that's what I was doing in the background. I was looking at, so we got to work on going through with childhood wounds and childhood trauma and stuff like that. But she did say, because I've been in therapy for 6 years, she did say, I've been in therapy since from 2017 to 2023. So 5.5 years, whatever, I round up. She did say I've had some emotional birthdays. So I'm an emotional teenager now, guys. So I'm not an emotional adolescent anymore. I'm a teenager. I'm working on getting my emotional learner's permit so I can start driving my little emotional vehicle. She did say that though. She said she was proud of me, and she's the same age as me, so that means a lot though. But it is hard work to do, y'all. I've been in therapy, so I've grown up emotionally a little bit over the last few years, and I think my wife can attest to this as well, because we have conversations now that I would have responded differently years ago. You know what I mean? And she understands. She's like, damn, I was expecting you to get mad. I was like, yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. It made me uncomfortable when you said that, but like, I understand why you said it, and she appreciates it. Yeah, that's why we work now. Because I've had emotional birthday because I went to therapy, acknowledged the trauma that has happened in my childhood, even though I don't technically remember what it is. I've acknowledged there is some trauma. I acknowledge that I did skip emotional birthdays. That's the only way a narcissistic person, toxic person can work on themselves to grow up emotionally. They can grow up physically. When I say emotional intelligence, emotional growth, I don't mean like they're like a small person. I mean, like they can be, I'm 6'3", 240 pounds. You can be my size, but but right behind this shell, this 6'3", 240 shell, you'll see there's like a little 4'8", 90-pound little boy behind all that. You know what I mean? So that's why I just tell people, like, had to work through the emotional wounds, work through the emotional trauma to get to the point where I feel like I'm grown up, I'm an adult now. You know what I mean? That's the point right there. So I feel like if you are dealing with narcissistic people, toxic people, this is who you're gonna be dealing with, y'all. Unless they go to therapy And for like, I'll be in therapy for the rest of my life. And I'm not telling y'all to leave your partner. This is not what I'm here for. I'm not trying to tell you to leave your relationship. So many people just misconstrue my message. I get it, but I'm not here to tell people to leave their damn partners. That's not what I do. I'm here to help people grow and acknowledge what is going on in their relationship so you can live a better, more authentic life. So you're not walking on eggshells. So you don't feel crazy all the goddamn time. You know what I mean? So if you're dealing with that, you can be, like I said, you can be a 45-year-old 12-year-old. You can be a 60-year-old 9-year-old. You have the emotional intelligence of a 9-year-old. You can be a rocket scientist and have low emotional intelligence. You can be a damn chemist and have low emotional intelligence. You can cure cancer and have low emotional intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Emotional intelligence isn't tied to book smarts and actual intelligence. It can help. You know what I mean? Those are my thoughts right there, y'all. Anyways, y'all, let me sign up this thing. Like I said, I'll be in Sydney, Australia. If y'all are in the Australia area, shoot me an email. If y'all in the Sydney, Australia, New South Wales area, downtown, I think. If y'all are in that area, shoot me an email at mentalhealness85@gmail.com or Dear Mental Healness. It'll be at the end of this video. Dear Mental Healness@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I'm trying to find like a little space to hold like a little meetup for like 2 hours or so. I want to, if y'all in Australia, the Sydney area, come meet me. I want to meet y'all. Shoot. Anyway, y'all, like and subscribe for more. Don't forget to get the Self-Love Journal on Amazon. I Love Me, a Self-Love Journal on Amazon. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe for more. Mental Healness is out. Peace.